Hi everyone, welcome back to Dr. RCM Academy. In this session, I am going to talk about list that is used in Python. List is a data type. So let us define a list first. So list is a value that contains multiple values in an ordered sequence. Like a string, list is also a sequence of values. However, in a string, the values are characters, whereas in a list, they can be any type. So the data type can be anything in the list, whereas in string, it is only the characters. Here, the values, each value in the list, they are called elements, or it is also called items. List can contain any data type like integer, float, string, etc. And also list can contain a list in it. So list can be contained within a list. We declare or define a list with the square brackets. Anything that you write inside the square bracket, Python treats as a list. And each element in the list are separated by comma. Let us take some examples of list. Here you have 1, 2, 3. These are the elements of the list. Whenever you specify a square bracket like this, it understands that it is a list. Similarly, this is another list which consists of cat, bat, rat and elephant. If you observe, the elements in the list is all the elements are integers, whereas here all the elements are strings. Not only a list can consist of only one data type, it can also have multiple data types in it. For example, you have a string here, float, boolean value, none value as well as integers. All different data types can be there in a single list. And the entire list, whatever you specify, can be saved in one variable name. Now, if I ask Python what is spam, it gives you the entire list. Let us access each element of a list with the help of index value. Here I have created a list and with the name spam. Now, spam will have a list and the items in the list are tiger, lion, cat and rat. Now, if I ask Python, so what is the index value of 0? What is spam of 0? Now, one thing you remember, always the indexing starts from 0. So, spam of 0 will be tiger, spam of 1 will be lion, spam of 2 will be cat and so on. Okay, so always the list indexing starts from 0. So, if I use what is spam of 0, it gives you tiger. If I ask what is spam of 1, so it gives you lion. Similarly, if I ask what is spam of 2, it gives you the cat, and spam of 3, so it can give rat. So this completes the list. Suppose if I ask what is spam of 4, see the size of the list is 4 elements, that is from 0 to 3, that is what I created. But if I ask what is spam of 4, where there is no element of 4th index, then it gives you error. That error we call it as index error, which shows that your list index is out of range, because your indexing is only from 0 to 3, whereas you are trying to access the 4th element which is not in the list. Therefore, it gives you error. And always you remember the index value should be integer values. So, it will not accept if you give it in a floating numbers. Otherwise, if you give as a floating number, it gives you error. If I ask what is spam of 1, it gives you it is lion, right? So, if I ask what is spam of 1.0, that is floating, instead of index value giving integer, if I give it as floating point, then definitely it gives you error. That error is called type error. List can also contain other list values. For example, if I take a list spam which is having two lists in it. For example, this is one list which will have cat and bat, the other list which consists of all these values. Now, as we know that it is indexed, so this entire list within a list that is indexed as 0, whereas this index as 1. Therefore, if I try to access what is spam of 0, it gives you both cat as well as bat. That means the entire list is indexed as 0. Similarly, if I ask what is spam of 1, it will definitely give you this entire list. If I want to access what is exactly cat alone, I don't want cat and bat together, so I want to access cat alone. So in the 0th index, again this can be subindexed. So this will be 0, whereas this will be 1. So under 0 indexing, you have two elements. So again 0 and 1. Therefore, I can print what is spam of 0, 1. So this 0 indicates this one. So in 0 indexing, again you have 0 and 1. Therefore, 0 and 1 is bat. Therefore, it is going to print bat. Similarly, if I want to access what is 50, so it comes under indexing value 1. All these elements belongs to index value 1. Again in this, because it is list again, so it is indexed with 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if I try to access, so what is 1 with 4? Okay, so this gives you 50. So you can access individual element in a list, or when you are specifying the entire list within a list, you can also access that. As I said, the indexing starts from 0 and it keeps on going as 1, 2, 3, etc. So negative indexing is also possible in list. So when I say positive indexing, it starts from 0, 1, 2 as well as 3 and so on, based on the number of items in the list. Whereas negative indexing indicates starts from -1 and it is assigned to the last element of the list. That is, -1 is assigned to last element of the list, followed by -2, -3, -4, like this in the reverse order. Therefore, if I try to access what is list 1 of -1, as I said, -1 is for guava. So it is going to print a fruit named guava. Next, list 1 -2. So the -2 value is avocado, -3, -4 is apple. Like this, you can also access the items in the list with negative indexes. Till now, we have seen how to access the items from the list, individual items from the list. If you want to access group of items, multiple items together, then I go for a concept called list slicing. Slice can get several values from a list. Let us give you the syntax for accessing a slice. So first, the slice what you are going to specify, it has to be given the index value, and it should be initially on default the indices starts at 0. So in the square bracket, whatever you specified, the starting position, so it may be 0, 1, from where you need to pick a slice, and followed by the ending index value. So that is, suppose if I want to access till the value index value 4, then I can specify 4 here, and in between you should have a colon. So this is the simple format of how you can take a slice. Now this indicates the starting point. So starting point, whatever you indicate, so it will be started with 0. That means you get a item starting from 0. If I replace this with 3, you will get a slice from 3. Whereas the ending position is not, you don't get the end value. So instead you get 1 less than that. So it is going to start from 0 index value to 3. So this is not included. Unlike strings, strings are immutable, whereas lists are mutable. Mutable in the sense they can change the order. They can change the order of the item, or in other words, you can reassign the items, you can modify the items in the list. Okay, and hence lists are said to be mutable in nature. Let us understand this slicing of list taking some examples. Here I have considered list 1 is equals to some elements like A, C, D and so on. Now if I want to take a slice from C to E, as we know the indexing of the list starts from 0. So index of 0, when I take it is A. Similarly, if I talk about index 1, it is C, index 2, D and so on. Now if I try to fetch the values C, D, E, then I should specify what is the slice starting from. That is list 1 of, I will take from index value 1 colon, this is the starting position where I should take the slice. So this is 0. So I don't want element A, therefore I am starting with first index, that is called C. Then so I should end at E. Therefore when you are ending at E, I should give the index value more than E. So this is index value 1, 2 and 3. Therefore I should give 1 more than 3, that is 4. So 4 will not be printed, so it is only from 1 to 3, but in the end slice should be mentioned 1 more than that. Therefore it gives you C, D, E. Similarly, if I want what is a slice starting from say 3, then I should end at 5. So can you predict what is the output of this? Just pause the video and you can comment on the comment section. Here the starting index is 3. So where is index value 3 is? This is 0, 1, 2 and 3. So this is your index value being 3, and I have specified the end value as 5, but as we know it will not start end at 5, it will end at 4 itself. Therefore after 3 this is 4. So only these two elements will be printed. So if you check the output, so then we say it is E and F. Suppose if I don't specify the initial value, then on default list will take the initial value as 0. That means it starts from A till 4th index. Suppose if I don't specify both starting index value as well as ending index value, it means that starting will be on default 0 as I said, and ending will be the last element of the list. Therefore if you just give colon with no index values, then it gives you the entire list. As I already said, so there is also possibility of negative indexing. So negative indexing, -1 is given for the last element of the list. Similarly -2, -3 and -4. Now if I try to give, so what is the value starting from -4 till -1? So this is -1, 2, 3 and 4. So from here to here it is going to print, because -1 is not considered the end index value. Therefore the output of this will be DEF.